Thank you, Dr. Tabak. It is always difficult to break a coffee break, so thank you all for being back here. I would also, in my turn, like to thank Dr. Farhad Mahmadov for organizing this event together with Dr. Garibov of the Caucasus International. It is always good to be in Baku. Now, with the limited time I have at my disposal, I was told about 10 to 12 minutes. So what I will do is just mention the very titles, headlines of what I intend to draw a picture of. And then if time permits, and if we have a Q&A session, and if there is any need to expand on any one of them, I'll be most pleased to do so. So now starts my 12 minutes. Now, what I would like to say, especially with regard to this title, the South Caucasus and the neighborhood, how Turkey positions itself from a think tank point of view. What now we are prone to be saying is that up until the collapse of the Soviet Union, end of the Cold War, Turkey was the easternmost of the West. And in Churchill's words, the Iron Curtain for Turkey not only fell into Eastern Europe, but also to the Caucasus and Central Asia. So we were detached from this part of the world. Now, with the new developments in the world, what we position Turkey as is not the easternmost of the West, but both the easternmost of the West as well as westernmost of the East. That is to say, a central position in a developing Central Asian concept. And this Central Asian concept is very controversial. I know there are many definitions, very many interpretations of it. But what we see from our point of view is that Turkey now is moving, instead of being an extreme east or west of anywhere, more becoming to the central location. Together with, now I come, we put Turkey on two hinges in this geopolitical concept. One hinge on the Balkans and the other hinge on the Caucasus. So in that sense, a nexus to the West and the East, not forsaking one for the other. And in this, we see the Caucasus as a region, the South Caucasus, the three independent states particularly, forming this nexus to our east. Now, the Southern Caucasus, no doubt, there is no doubt, is part of Europe. I mean, it is certified as such with the accession of these three countries to the Council of Europe in the year 2000-2001. So in that sense, European Union is not necessarily the representative of Europe. It is a very developed organization, institution within Europe, but Europe is much larger than that, and as such, in our concept, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, together with Russia, Turkey, are definitely inseparable parts of Europe. Now, coming from here, we also see that there is an emerging East, starting with Japan, South Korea, the four tigers of the Pacific, but today more so the prominence of the People's Republic of China. Now, we also had the pleasure of listening to a Chinese presentation here of the relations with Azerbaijan, and we concur with that. That is to say, this OBOR project is something that is now making concrete the ties of the East to the West and vice versa. And Turkey, just like Azerbaijan, is also very much interested with this project because Through this, we also see the possibility of more communications and more contacts with Central Asia, which is a region also of particular interest both for Turkey and Azerbaijan. Now, this prognosis, of course, is not a new thing. In fact, how we feel making all these prognoses is that this is a diagnosis, in fact, what is happening. And this has started back in the end of 90s, early 2000. What was also mentioned by Ambassador Braiza here, the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipelines and Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum oil, and now Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railroads. So this is the very first initial steps of this whole Eurasian concept from a Turkish point of view, making openings to the Caspian. So in that sense, what we see is that we see the neighborhood in a more extended form. That is to say, when we talk of three Caucasus states, we cannot also neglect or eliminate the Caspian Basin, which is to say, of course, when we talk of this region, we cannot overlook Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Iran, and even going beyond that, also the connection we necessarily make is the Black Sea Basin, Black Sea Cooperation Organization, including all those 11 countries of that region. So in our vision, the concept of the region is more extended than only the three South Caucasian states. So it is the larger Caucasus, and in this picture, we also see that Georgia, Turkey, Azerbaijan are on the right path, on the right understanding. And what we see is if I may call it like that, the odd man out here appears to be Armenia. And what we also see is a very conscious policy on part of Armenia for sustaining the instability in the region, and on two accounts, both with Azerbaijan and with Turkey. And we cannot, in our right mind, see any other explanation for this policy of separation or instability, both against Turkey and Azerbaijan, apart from the fact that there is a conscious expectation play of creating disharmony in this part of the world. So if I may extend the picture a bit more and take the opportunity also of the presentation on the Chinese perspectives here. Yes, we do, I said, give importance to this new development of OBOR and also the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, in the sense that we are inclined to think the OBOR project and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in a way complementing each other, both economically and in the security area. And in this context, we also see that the security arrangements for Asia, the SICA organization, to which Azerbaijan, Turkey are also members, and where Turkey was a two-time director for the organization, we all see that these are current developments from a point of Turkey, but also South Caucasus, that no doubt we are part of Europe, but we also have the Janus face of being part of Asia, and that we have to make this I would say, geopolitical fortune, we have to make use of this, because in our view, it is not only Europe that is the future, it is Eurasia that is the future. And this does not connote in any way diminishing the interest for Europe. To the contrary, the more European we are, the more closer ties we have with Europe, the more assets we have to play this nexus role for the East, for the Eurasian developments. And in that, as it was mentioned, two major roads are all going through Azerbaijan or vicinity of Azerbaijan. That is to say, the Caspian, Baku, and then the fast rail from Baku to Istanbul. I mean, Baku, Tbilisi, Kars, and then Istanbul up to the other end of Europe, and starting from the Pacific. So these are not visionary things. These are happening actually today. And in our view, Turkey, Iran, the Caspian Basin, but definitely Azerbaijan, Georgia have very important roles to play in this region. And we have a future that is much more rich in its activities than what we have had before. So also in this connection, one last remark I want to make is that these are thoughts that are also officially in a way pronounced by Turkey for the past 15, 17 years. That is to say, the Caucasus Stability and Cooperation Program, first pronounced by the then Prime Minister of Turkey, Erdogan, and even earlier in the year 2000 by Demirel, the then President of Turkey. As in fact, Demirel's first idea was Stability Pact of the Caucasus under the aegis of the OSCE, and Erdogan's Stability and Cooperation Program of 2008 with the three countries, but also including Russia, Turkey, and later on Iran. So I have tried to bridge the inspiring presentations of the first panel with some thoughts on the neighboring issues on the second panel, and I don't think I have taken more time than I was allocated. I thank you all very much.